God's wrath, dragons awakening, demons lurking, monsters unleashed, giants clash, witches curse, God's fury, demons feast, horror reigns, underworld wars.
The night was thick with shadows, the kind that clung to the skin and whispered of ancient fears. A cold wind blew from the north, sweeping across the barren plains under an indifferent sky. The stars hid behind a veil of clouds, and the moon cast only the faintest glimmer of light over the land. In the distance, the jagged silhouette of the Babylonian city of Akkad loomed, its walls a dark line against the horizon. In the cold embrace of the mountains, the giants gathered. Uthrog, a monstrous figure standing nearly 5 meters tall, his skin mottled gray like the stone around him, fixed his ember-like eyes on the distant lights of Akkad. Around him stood his kin, Svarog, arms as thick as tree trunks, and Yogthar, whose breath came in ragged snarls.
The humans grow fat with wealth. They hoard gold and jewels in their stone houses, thinking themselves safe behind their walls. But we are giants. Walls mean nothing to us. They have forgotten the old ways. Sheltered by gods who no longer walk among them, they grow weak. We will remind them of their place in this world. We will take what is ours by right. Their women and children will scream. Their warriors will fall like leaves in the wind. We will crush them beneath our feet, and their riches will be ours. There is no need for cruelty beyond what is necessary. We take food, gold, and jewels. The rest we leave to rot. But remember, every life we take, every scream we hear, strengthens our resolve. The humans must know that the giants are not to be defied.
The sun had barely risen when the ground began to tremble. At first, the people of Akkad believed it to be an earthquake. But then, the city walls shuddered, and a deep, resonant boom echoed through the air. Panic spread like wildfire. The giants were coming.
To arms, the giants are upon us! Defend the city!
Arrows rained upon the giants, but their thick hides turned them aside like brittle twigs. Uthrog batted them away, sending them clattering to the ground.
Is this all they have to offer? These tiny sticks? Pathetic.
The giants surged forward, pouring through the broken gates like an unstoppable force of nature. Rashid met them head-on, slashing at Yagthar's leg, but his blade barely left a scratch.
Is that the best you can do, little man?
All around him, the battle raged. The giants tore through the city, smashing walls and rooftops, ripping up cobblestones with their bare hands. The soldiers of Akkad fought valiantly, their weapons flashing in the morning light. But they were no match for the sheer might of the giants. One by one they fell, their blood staining the ground beneath them. The giants rampaged through the streets, their enormous hands grabbing anything of value: gold, jewels, silks, and spices. The people of Akkad, driven to desperation, fought back with whatever they could find: knives, clubs, even their bare hands.
No, you will not take this from us. You will not destroy what we have built.
You think you can hurt me, little one? You are nothing but an insect, and I will crush you just as easily.
The soldiers fought valiantly, but the giants were too powerful. Gormog sent them flying with a single sweep of his arm. Rashid was thrown against a stone pillar, gasping for breath.
for. There is no need for further bloodshed.
The battle had been lost before it had begun, and all that remained was the bitter aftermath. But even in the midst of despair, Naima and Rashid knew they had to find a way to fight back. The war was far from over. The leaders of Akkad gathered in the Great Hall, their faces pale with despair. Nabu, the high priest, stood before them, his voice heavy with sorrow.
We cannot fight them. The giants are beyond our power, and the gods have turned their faces from us. We must endure.
We must find a way. The gods cannot have abandoned us.
The gods have not abandoned us, but they will not intervene. We must endure.
Uthrog surveyed the destruction with grim satisfaction.
The humans will rebuild. One day they will seek revenge. But that is a problem for another day.
They will come again, and what will we have left to fight them with?
We will rebuild. We will survive.
The people of Akkad stood united in grief, but also in determination. They had survived the wrath of the giants, but the war had only just begun.